Hello, Mr. Curtis.
Yeah, so what's happening?
I can see you seem to be quite upset.
Yeah, quite upset. The nurses told us something wrong with my ECG. That's your heart, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I've come to talk to you about, Mr.
So what's
Curtis.
going wrong?
Mr. Curtis, I understand you had an ECG done?
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you tell me why that was done?
They just said we just need to do a normal check, like procedural thing.
Okay, were you having any heart problems or any chest pain?
No.
Okay, and how are you feeling now?
Yeah, well, just anxious because someone said the ECG is not right.
Okay.
One of the nurses said that. I need some explanation.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm going to come to that. I'm just going to find out some more from you before I talk about the findings of the ECG. From what you've told me is that obviously you've had the ECG tracing done. Do you know what an ECG is?
It's something to do with your heart. I don't know other than that.
Yes. So it's a tracing of the heart, and what it does is it shows us how the heart is pumping blood. So that is what the ECG is. And what the findings were is that, have you had an ECG done before this?
Yeah, I have, yes, a while ago, yeah.
Okay, and has there been any concerns with your
No,
ECG?
no. And this time the nurse can write, there's something wrong with your ECGs. That's what she just said. And wanders off.
And in terms of medication, what medication are you on?
So I'm on statins, I'm on quetiapine, I'm on sertraline, haloperidol, and I'm also on for my diabetes.
Okay, and how much quetiapine are you on?
So quetiapine I'm on, I never remember. Listen, I'm on 750 milligrams of quetiapine, and metformin is the other one I take.
Okay, so you're on 750 quetiapine. Yeah. Okay, and is that managing your symptoms?
Well, it seems to be. Everyone seems to be happy with what's going on until this comes up.
And when you didn't have the quetiapine, what were your symptoms?
Well, I just started to go really downhill again, start to get the psychosis back and stuff like that, feeling very down.
And has there been changes in your medication recently?
No, I've been on that about 2 years.
Okay, and you told me there's no cardiac problems, and any family history of any heart problems?
No, not I'm aware of, no.
Okay, and are you taking any other, apart from what you've told me, the medication, any other drugs?
No, that's all
alcohol?
I take. No, I've been here 2 weeks.
Okay, so Mr. Curtis, from what you've told me is that it sounds like obviously you're on quetiapine for your schizophrenia and some other medication, and you've had the tracing of the heart. However, you've not had any chest pain.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it was a routine checkup.
Yeah.
Well, the heart tracing shows that one of the values, what we call QTC, I'm sorry for the jargon, but what it means is that one of the values is raised. Yeah?
What's that mean?
So the normal value, which shows about the pumping of your heart,
right.
It's usually 440 in a male.
Yeah.
And in your case, it's in the 500s. So that is a concern for us, and that we do need to ask the specialist to see you.
Right.
And we do need you to go to the cardiology department in A&E.
Cool.
So you need to see a cardiologist. It's only a precautionary measure just to make sure that everything's good with your heart. But because it's been picked up with the ECG, we do need you to get checked out. What I can say is it's a common side effect of the medication you are on, quetiapine. They might have told you this when you were on the medication initially, that it can cause the QTC to become prolongated. So in this case,
So become what?
So it becomes longer than what it is usually. So the value is longer. So I can see this is distressing for you.
What does that mean for me though? Does this mean what? Could it kill me?
It is a concern that it can be fatal in some cases, but it's a good thing we've picked it up, Mr. Curtis. And what I can assure you is that we're going to get help for you. We want you to go to the cardiology department and see a cardiologist. I will make arrangements to speak to them, and then I'll explain to them about the medication you are on. What will happen next is that we will need to think about you going on another medication. We'll have to stop the quetiapine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'll have to consider another medication with obviously your consent, and we'll discuss the options. But there's other medications that has a lesser chance to cause this QTC problem, which I'll explain to you. I'm sorry for the jargon, Are you following me so far?
I'm following you, but what's going to happen? I'm just worried what's going to happen.
Right. I'm going to call the cardiology department, and I want you to go there immediately. In the meantime, I'm going to look at the options of starting you on maybe aripiprazole medication, because you'll have to stop the quetiapine.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a risk that you can get symptoms back because we're changing your medication. So just for you to be aware of that. Yeah. When you go to the cardiology department, you'll see the cardiologist, and then they will do further testing and some bloods, just to make sure that everything's okay. I can see, Mr. Curtis, this is really upsetting for you.
What's upsetting is, am I going to get a heart attack?
You're not going to get a heart attack, but it can be a concern. The complications are that it can cause, it can be fatal. And however, like I've explained to you, it's most likely, from the history you've given me, it's most likely due to the quetiapine.
So once you stop that,
well, we're hoping that obviously it can get back to normal, and we can put you on the medication, which has a lesser chance to cause this.
Right, okay, I've got that.
Mr. Curtis, I understand this is a difficult time for you now, but what I can assure you is you have our full support. And what we've discussed is I've told you about your ECG tracing, and that there's a concern that we need to just get you checked out by the cardiologist immediately and stop your quetiapine. And I'm going to make arrangements to manage you, obviously, with other medication like aripiprazole. I can get you a leaflet to explain to you more about the side effects.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Do you have any family member that's around that maybe I can call, that they can come in and support you?
No, my wife's at work. She won't be around at the minute, but I can talk to her later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for talking to me, Mr. Curtis.
Okay, thank you.